The library is actually quite easy for hard mode. It doesn't have any major obstacle that you beat your head against for ages. It is harder than normal mode, obviously, but it's all quite manageable. The main differences are blue spikes placed at strategically insidious parts of the climb and replacing almost every security camera with the laser, and since I typically avoid even brushing against the camera view cones anyway, the second change isn't one that demands much of a change in playstyle for me. The woes of video game collision detection. It was moving too fast to register a hit on the way up, but not on the way down. That's not how you're supposed to get past those, but it does work. It's not the first time that's happened to me, but it's a lot less likely to work when it's a camera instead of a laser. That's the only camera that remains a camera in hard mode. I guess because it'd be easier to damage boost through the laser otherwise. Here, I thought to myself, maybe I should go for that side area back there. As you may have noticed, this was a terrible, terrible mistake. Alright, at this section, I kind of cheated. The addition of the rockets makes this significantly harder, and at this point I was having none of that. I'd already played through the sitting room and the dormitory in the one session of recording before getting to this point. I was tired and ready to just get to the city and stop for the day, so I just said balls to the rocket launcher and blew it up, effectively making it the same as normal mode. While I don't personally think it's in the spirit of hard mode, since everything outside of tutorial sections should be possible without any items, and I'm pretty sure I never do it again, it does present a good opportunity to talk about the variable difficulty in PID. Early on in the LP, someone posted in the thread mentioning that they didn't think the implementation of items or stars was that good. Since you get given items for free when the puzzles require them, the vending machines that actually require you to pay for items and the stars themselves seemed pointless to them. However, items can be used anywhere, and for players having trouble with parts of the game, using explosives to destroy obstacles or the music box to stop robots and so on is a viable strategy for them, which in turn means they'll find themselves using the vending machines frequently as well. A developer at Might and Delight, self-admitted to be the worst on the team at platforming games, said that they barely ever had any money on their playthrough because they were doing exactly this. I think it's actually a quite clever way to allow most people playing to finish the game on normal so long as they can handle the basics. Alright, watch how many times I get hit by the laser here, and note how I never even once think to put the second beam directly on the spike patch and avoid having to juggle beams around to keep the laser up. It seems so obvious in hindsight. I don't know whether it speaks to the difficulty of hard mode or my growing skill at the game that this section of the climb feels incredibly routine to me. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to bother with the souvenir at all. I'm sure it's exactly the same, it's just that this alcove is nice and safe. That was a little manic, and because the rocket launcher goes off screen, it stops shooting at you as you climb up, which makes what just happened there a little weird to me. It's like you're being punished for something that was basically out of your control. The final climb here is pretty much the same with a few blue spikes added in for good measure. Something that I realized while watching this video back is that one of the biggest obstacles isn't any one particular kind of enemy, but hesitance in the player themselves. So many of the tricky blue enemies attack you based on your own position and movement, so if you can't commit to a path or are prone to panicking when you see something coming, it's going to end badly for you. I mean, you can see this in effect right here. I kept on dying to the blue spike on the wall because I kept stopping halfway through my jump up to the ledge. And then I died to the chaser drones again because I wouldn't follow through on my movements, knowing that they would miss me if I just kept on moving to the right. Literally every time I've ever played this game, I always manage to hit that one robot and I have no idea why. And that's the library on hard mode. It only took 15 minutes, and while normal mode was including talking to the NPC at the start and picking up the souvenir, that's the first time that the hard mode equivalent went faster than normal mode. To make up for it, next we have the absolute worst area in all of hard mode.